Welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today I'm doing something a little bit unusual. I'm reviewing a coffee that's a little bit unusual. I am reviewing the Toraja Coffee Setia from Indonesia. This is an Indonesian bean. I have not done an Indonesian bean yet, and I've not had an Indonesian bean at all, actually, from memory. This was actually a gift from my wife's colleague. She didn't have the grinding and coffee gear, so she gave it to me. And been very interested because I have no idea what it is. When I first received the package, I actually judged it because it looked quite cheap. It looked very tacky, a plasticky, the mylar packaging. And then I looked at it more, and it's actually a single origin from Toraja region or whatever that, a Toraja bean. And the website itself, and I found out that this is the second most expensive coffee they have on the website. It's about $750 US, which in Indonesia, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And their normal house blends are about 150 to 250 USD. So you imagine this is roughly 3 times more than that. So that's actually a lot. And the only coffee that is more expensive than this on their website, from memory, is cat shit civet coffee, right? I know that coffee has gone through the cat shit pipe. So really, it's quite a premium coffee in Indonesia where it's sourced. So anyway, I thought I'd give it a little review, and we can talk about it. The bean's appearance, once again, different sizes of coffees from massive to really, really small little nubs, which tells me that it's not just your kind of mass harvesting of coffee with machines, and so they obviously probably close to hand pick this coffee, but don't quote me on that, but that's just what I gathered from the processes. A lot of the coffee that are generic that you get out there from Brazil, the coffee beans are all identical sizes, like 80-90% of them, because they harvest them regardless of ripeness or not. But this one here, definitely a little bit different there, okay? It is definitely on the medium to heavy roast, even though on the pack it says light to medium roast or medium roast, it's definitely on the heavy side. Let's get nosing. There is a distinct smell of clay, okay, clay, like wet clay. And it's quite strange, definitely on the medium side. I can start smelling the oils coming through from the heavier roasting style. And there is a strange smell to it, very herbal, very medicinal, green, grassy smell. Now, I'm presuming this is a washed process, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there's any anaerobic processes on this, because I'm not smelling that heavenly garbage smell. Green leaves, green grass, green vegetation, a vegetal herbal smell, a hint of smoke, burnt wood, burnt butter, a nutty smell I can't put my finger on. Yeah, an oily smell. I can smell the oil, the fat, the oil. Wet soil, burnt leather like when you're branding a cow in a ranch. You burn. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that smells like, because I've been watching Yellowstone lately, and I feel like branding a cow. But no, I'm not. I don't know what that smells like. Take it back. I strike that. Anyway, let's get nosing on the brew. Interesting. Interesting. The brew has a distinct nutty flavor. Almond, a caramelized almond. So almond that's been roasted and coated in a caramel, a sugary caramel. You get them in fairs and galas and country fairs. You get like almond that's been tossed in sugar and it's been roasted in a copper pot, and then you can smell it a mile away. You can smell that. It's weird, there is a distinct smoke, like a distant burning bonfire. So I don't know where that's from, but definitely there is a distinct burning smoke smell of wood and vegetation. Now, they might have had a forest fire and infused the shit out of the beans with it, or the soil, who knows, but they definitely has it. Leathery. Old leather that's been wet. A little soily, can't escape the green herbal. Definitely on the stronger, bolder roast side. Let me sip. Definitely on the harder roast. A bit more bitter, a bit more confronting on the palate. Now, probably because in Indonesia, Asia, Malaysia, their coffee taste is more the stronger roast coffee taste. They usually, they don't really go through as much obsession as we do with our, grams and all that shit. They just have a metal jug with a stocking in it. They put 2 tablespoons of coffee. They dunk it in there. They pour it. They put 2 more tablespoons for the next order. They put more hot water and they dunk it. And when that stocking is full, they empty half of it out. They put more. So there's no science to what we do. And sometimes I think in the West we overthink the shit out of things. But in saying that, there's a reason for that, right? It's our precision, a certain profile that we're after. But in Asia, it's all about efficiency, speed, cost. And so that could be the reason why the roast is more bold and harder, as opposed to a softer medium roast that, for example, here in New Zealand, everything is almost medium roast. And if it's not, then it's probably going to be a shit coffee. Most of the world, when I go to a cafe, it's always really hard roasts, and I don't like it. And so I struggle when we travel because it's just like drinking burnt coffee with oven scrapings. Not very good. I can't escape the herbal. There's definitely a herbal note to this, a medicinal herbal note. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just a description. Smoky, I still don't know where that's coming from, but there's a distinct smokiness to it. Now, I'm thinking when it comes to natural products, the terroir can emit smokiness, whether it's from ash, burnt stuff, maybe they burn some of the compost and then it goes to the soil, or maybe the roasting techniques they have is more of an open fire roasting technique. I don't know. I'd like to know if anyone knows more about this bean. Leathery, woody, earthy, but definitely the aftertaste is quite a bitter aftertaste. There is a faint hint of sourness of a sour plum, sour cherry, but it is lost in the over roasting, which is a real shame because that could have been quite a nice balance there with a sweetness, nuttiness, and some of that sour notes. But no, there is none of that. But yeah, look, it's not a bad coffee at all. I think that it's quite nice. A bit of a surprise. I judged it too early. Would I buy it again? Look, I wouldn't gravitate towards it, but it's definitely an interesting coffee. I mean, it's all about exploration, right? And I think it's pretty cool. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink, and caffeinate. Cheers.